A group of environmental activists is awaiting a sentence after being found guilty of occupying an oil terminal in Montreal's East End. Their defense relied on it being a necessary act. Now they say the decision will undermine efforts to curb climate change. Stéphane Giroux has the story.
It happened in October 2022. 10 climate activists belonging to the Antigone Collective broke into the Valero oil terminal in the East End. They climbed a crane and chained themselves to shipping containers. It took police 24 hours to get them out. The group pleaded not guilty in court on charges of mischief and obstruction, arguing that they were forced to act out of necessity to save the planet. The judge disagreed and found them guilty.
He's, unfortunate. He's doing his job, and we were trying to test the limits of the law, definitely, and hopefully create a precedent that would be helpful for the environmental movement.
Their lawyer used what is called a defense of necessity, doing something illegal to prevent someone from dying, for example.
The typical metaphor for the defense of necessity is the case of the alpinist. So somebody who happens to be on a mountain and there's a storm and they need to break into a cabin in order to get shelter and save their life. And so in those circumstances, the law says, yes, breaking into a cabin is a violation of the law, but it was done out of necessity.
The protesters argued that the aging Enbridge pipeline that ends at the oil terminal was in danger of breaking and spilling oil. The judge didn't buy it because the occupation was planned in advance and that the pipeline didn't break as predicted.
What's most unfortunate with this whole issue is that oil and gas companies and the fossil fuel industry is still kind of allowed to run free. And
their lawyer says she wishes the courts could change their way of seeing the climate emergency.
They were sounding the alarm. They were trying to announce that there's a crisis here, and if we don't change our society now, if we don't stop using fossil fuels now, people are going to die.
The prosecution was not immediately available for comment before deadline. The activists are expected to return to court on Tuesday for their sentencing hearing, and they're also expected to argue that even though they lost their case, they were acting out of good faith to save the planet. Stéphane Giroux, CTV News.